Hello everyone, welcome to the 14th lecture on the course Mathematical Modeling and Simulation. The outline for this lecture is, firstly I will talk about the conservation law by which this traffic flow model is derived. Then I will see what is WLR model. Then I will explain speed density relationship. Then we will see some fundamental diagram of macroscopic model, and we will end with an example. So let's begin. So firstly I will start with how we can derive a macroscopic traffic flow model. So we will derive this by using the conservation law, and it has analogy with the fluid flow, and the same equation will work for macroscopic traffic flow also. So let's see how we can derive this. For this again we have to consider that we have one lane road, and suppose that one point is A and the other point is B. This is my road, and one point is x is equal to A and the another point over here is equal to x is equal to B, and we will see what is the inflow and outflow between these 2 points, and obviously the number of the cars which will remain will depend upon the inflow and outflow at any time t. So just see mathematically what does this mean. This means that the rate of change of the number of the vehicle per unit time is equal to the inflow minus outflow. This is Q is representing the flux. So whatever is the number of the car in between this A to B is equal to the inflow minus the outflow. Now we also know that what is density. Density is number of vehicle per unit time. So you can compute the number of vehicles also by this expression. Now just see 1 and 2, equation 1 and 2. If I differentiate this equation number 2, I will get dN by dt is equal to d by dt A to B rho xt dx, right? Now this one is equal to, you can see the equation number 1 is also dN by dt, so we can equate both of these and then we will get this equation number 3. Now by Leibniz rule of integration, you know that I can write this integral is equal to this. Why this partial sign? Because rho is function of both x and t, and here A and B are constant, so other terms will go to 0. So by Leibniz rule of integration you will have this equal to this. Now by using this rule I have made this equal to, so equation number 3 can be written as this. Just I have used this Leibniz rule over here, and equation 3 can be written as equation number 4. Now obviously by fundamental theorem of calculus I can write this integral equal to this minus this, right? If I have an integral like this, then obviously we will integrate this. I will get q and then I will put the upper limit. So this is the upper limit minus the lower limit. So just by following the fundamental theorem of calculus I have this result, equation number 5. Now just see this equation number 4, the difference over here is of minus sign. Like over here it is QA minus QB, that is the flux inflow minus outflow. Here I am having outflow flux minus inflow. So I can combine this equation number 4 and 5 as this, right? Because my del rho by del t will be equal to minus del q by del x, right? And then I can write this as equation, you can say equation number 6. Now you know that if I have a continuous function f in any closed interval, say a b, then if my integral is equal to 0, this means that f is equal to 0. So I have used this result to say that if this integral is coming out to be 0 in between a to b, this is a continuous function, then this means that my function should be equal to 0. So this is mainly the macroscopic traffic flow model. This is the macroscopic traffic flow model, and in the previous class we have seen that q is equal to rho into v. That means the flux was equal to density into speed. We have made derivation for this relationship in our previous class. We will use this thing that Q is equal to rho. This is rho density into V. So now we are with our equation, or you can say the macroscopic traffic flow model. Now if you see that this is our equation, right? We have derived this equation, and if you see this equation, you can see that I have only one equation, but there are two unknowns involved, so it is not solvable because we have one equation and two unknowns. So what we do, we consider V as some function of rho, and this model is known as LWR model. Why this is called as LWR? Because it was invented by Lighthill, Whitham and Richards. So to solve this, I have told you that we have to consider V, that is speed, as a function of density, and you will see that this is a very reasonable thing to do, because you observe that when density is more, that is when there is more car, your velocity is automatically reduced, and when there is very few cars on the road, you drive with the high speed. So it is very reasonable to consider the speed as a function of density, right? So we have to assume that our speed is the function of density, and if we put, we will see that we will get a partial differential equation in which the dependent variable is density and independent variable is x and t, and that's why it is called as partial differential equation, because we are having more than one independent variable. And this is first order. Why this is first order? Because both the derivative involved are in first order. And if you talk about its analytic solution, it can be solved by the methods of characteristics. But when you will increase the order, it is not applicable. But we will talk about the numerical technique to solve this model in our lab class. We will not look this analytic technique because this method of characteristic method is not very general. It fails when the order is increased. But numerical technique is more general and we can apply it even to the higher order model. So we will discuss this numerical technique in our lab class. So our first task is to find this relationship, because now you know that it is reasonable to consider the speed as a function of density. But what will be the function? So we will focus now on finding the relationship between speed and density. So here is the speed density relationship. It was seen that these three conditions should satisfy for a speed density relationship. Like any speed density relationship we give, we must make sure that these conditions are more or less satisfied. So what is this three conditions? First one is dV by d rho, this is rho, that is density, should be less than 0. Then when rho is 0 means density is 0, the velocity should be maximum, and this is reasonable because when we see no car, we drive with our maximum speed. And the third one is V is 0 when rho is rho max. That means that our velocity becomes 0 when there is a condition of jam. So we must make sure that any speed density relationship we choose, these three conditions must hold true more or less. Now Greenshield in 1935 gave a speed density relationship. So what is their speed density relationship? This is the speed density relationship given by Greenshield. So here you can see that they gave this V, that is speed, is depending upon density. And now let's check those three conditions which I have told like before this. So del V by del rho. If you differentiate this with respect to P, what you are getting? You are getting minus V max upon rho max. and you can easily see that this one is less than 0. So the first condition is satisfied. The second one is V is equal to V max when rho is equal to 0. You can easily see when I put this rho is equal to 0, V will be equal to V max when rho is equal to 0. And third condition was when rho is rho max, our V should be equal to 0. So when rho is equal to rho max, you can see that this will become 1 and it will got cancelled out and our V will become 0, right? So all these three conditions are satisfied and this gives the Green-Shield speed density relationship. Now we will talk about fundamental diagram. So the author of the function, that is Green-Shield, became very famous when he showed the fundamental diagram in 14th annual meeting of the Highway Research Board in 1935. After that, traffic flow modeling became famous and many authors started to work on this, and his fundamental diagram relates the density to the speed. So this is his figure which he presented in the 14th annual report. You can easily see that their graph is showing a linear relation between density and speed. So let us see how to draw the fundamental diagram, or you can say the diagram between the flow and the density and the flow and the speed. So as I have told you that this is the function which Green-Shield give. Now if I put this value over here, right, because we know that the flux is equal to density into velocity. We have derived this in our previous class. Now if I put this V over here, what I will get? I will get this one. Is it okay? Right? If I put this V, I can see, and if I multiply this rho, I will get this. Now let us do some calculus. So if I want to find out the maxima of this function, you know how to find out the maxima. I will differentiate this with respect to rho, because now I want to find out the graph between Q and rho. So for finding out the maxima, what I will do, I will differentiate this Q with respect to rho, and you can see that if I differentiate, I will get, and to find the critical points, what I need to do, I need to put this equal to 0. And if I put this equal to 0, I will find that my rho will become rho max by 2. Now I got my critical point. That means that maxima or minima can happen at this point. Now let's see what about the second derivative. So if I find out my second derivative, that is d square q by d rho square, you will see that it is negative, because here you can see that if I differentiate it again, I will get minus of 2 V max upon rho max. Now this is less than 0. That means that rho is equal to rho max by 2 is the point of maxima, right? So I got some information by using very basic calculus. So let us draw the diagram. You can see that this is the fundamental diagram between density and flow rate. Flow rate is Q, density is rho. So you can see that I have found that when density is rho max by 2, suppose that my rho max, that is at any certain lane, a section of lane, I have rho max is equal to 400. Right, that only 400 car can adjust in that place. So that is my maximum density a section of road can have. Now you can see that according to this figure, the maximum flow rate is at the point 200, means when the density is half of the maximum density, then we have the maximum flow rate. And you can see this function is representing a parabola. So combining all these, we have the fundamental diagram between the density and the flow rate. Now if you want to draw the fundamental diagram between speed and flow, again what you can do, this was our relationship which Green-Shield gave, and from here you can find out the density in terms of V, right? In terms of V you can find out rho. So after doing this, what you can do, you can put Q is equal to rho into V. Now rho will be in terms of V, and then you can apply the same thing and you will find out that the maximum flow rate happens when we have speed half of the maximum speed. So in the previous case, if I ask you what is Q max, Q max means when the density was half of the maximum density, we can see that there was a maximum flow rate. So let us find an expression for it. I will just put 1 minus, in place of rho I will put rho max by 2 divided by rho max. Now you can find it out that I will get V max into rho max divided by 4, or I can write Q max, that is maximum flow rate, will be equal to, so this is an important formula which you can remember, is that what will be the maximum flow rate? That will be equal to the half of the maximum speed and multiplied by half of the maximum density. These are the different fundamental diagram which were given by different author. This was very initial, which was given by Greenshield. Then these are the bell-shaped fundamental diagram given by Drake. This is given by Smulders, and the bilinear was given by D'Aganzo. Greenshield gave a linear relationship. It was perfectly linear, and the authors debated for this, and then they developed their own speed density relationship. So these are the different speed density relationship which became famous. The first one is the Greenshield, which I have discussed already, and as I have told you, the linear relationship between the speed and density was controversial. Like, many people do not relate that these both can be linear. So some of the authors come up with their own speed density relationship, and the prominent among them were Greenberg's logarithmic model, Underwood exponential model, and Pipes and Munjal's generalized model. So we will see Greenberg model. So this one is Greenberg model. They gave the speed density relationship like this. But the problem of this model is that you can see that when this rho tends to 0, the speed tends to infinity. This shows the inability of the model to predict the speed at the lower densities. Now this is the function that was considered by Underwood, and here you can see the problem. It tells you that V becomes 0 only when density becomes infinity. So this model cannot be used for predicting speed at high densities. Then Pipes and Munjal gave a generalized model of Greenshield, and you can see that they placed n over here. So these were some models which became famous after Greenshield. Now here is one question. So it says that a highway section has an average spacing of 25 feet under jam condition, and what is the free flow speed? It is given to be 55 meter per hour. Now we have to assume that the relationship between the speed and density is linear. That means we need to consider the Greenshield model, and then we need to determine the jam density, that is rho max. The maximum flow, that is we need to find out Q max, and the density at maximum flow, that you have already seen that we have density as rho max by 2 at Q max, means when the flow is maximum we have the density as rho max by 2, and at Q max we have the speed as V max by 2, and here we are already given V max as 55 miles per hour. Now just we have to find out this rho max, and everything else would be calculated very easily. So how we can find this rho max? Just see that I have been given 25 feet under jam condition. So the rho max will be nothing but 1 upon 25, because I have already told you that rho is equal to 1 by L plus D. So over here this is given to be 25, that an average spacing is 25. So here just we need to multiply this by 5280 to convert this into mile. So what will be the value, this will be equal to 211.2. so this one will be your rho max. And when you know the rho max, Q max can be easily calculated. Q max is what? This is rho max into V max divided by 4. We have already seen this. So this one is 211.2 into 55 divided by 4. So you can calculate, it will be approximately equal to 2094 vehicles per hour, right? And similarly you can find this rho will be rho max by 2, that is 211.2 divided by 2 will be the density at maximum flow, and when you divide 55 by 2 it will be the speed at the maximum flow. So this is the solution of the given question. With this question I will end this lecture over here. Thank you.